is there cause for concern with Corbin Burnes? And look, not sugarcoating it, has it been a good month for Corbin Burnes? No, it hasn't. But if you're going to look at last night as being the reason why things aren't going well, Brad, I'm a little floored about that. I am fired up about that because if you want to look at the other starts, Red Sox, brutal. The other start against the Astros, couldn't execute with 2 strikes, which I did a breakdown on. Last night, there's a combination that I'd love to run you guys through because I went back and watched this. Brad, I had to go rewatch everything with the game. I was shocked by the reactions. I thought that Corbin Burnes gave up 10 runs.
This is quite literally, I'm looking forward to this breakdown because
this is going to be a good one.
Rip has been like on one all day about this whole topic.
This is the most fired up I've seen Rip in a long time.
Yeah.
It floors me. Should we get to the board?
Let's
get to the board.
Yep.
Now you can hear me. Yeah. Rocco, Zach, our beautiful community, hit that like and subscribe button. Okay, guys, let's just talk about this game. The Orioles, let me start off the video, are playing the best team in baseball. I'll say that one more time. The Baltimore Orioles are playing the best team in Major League Baseball in the Los Angeles Dodgers. One of the best teams at home, some of the most star power in the league. Otani and Betts at the top of the order are 2 of the best 5 hitters in baseball. Let's start off with the game with this, because I think it's a good point to bring out. Yeah, Otani went big ball here, but I think the impressive thing with Otani, this is how well he's playing. Corbin Burnes is going to throw a backdoor slider, okay? It's going to hang up right around here. I changed the color. It's going to hang up right around there, okay? You guys know the result. But he's got his ass sticking out, and you know what? This ball goes flying because why? He's a unicorn that can do some tremendous things. Tip your cap. Great swing by Otani. Dodgers on the board. He's an unbelievable player, not the start that you wanted for Corbin Burnes, obviously, right? But I think the thing that I wanted to focus on here is the rest of the inning. I want you guys to bookmark this first thought. This is facing Teoscar Hernandez in the first inning. Watch the sequence. It's the first pitch of the at-bat. He's going to throw a curveball, beautifully executed down here. All right? This is going to be the next pitch. It's going to be inside. He's going to check swing it right here, okay? Check swings almost like a sword because he's not seeing the ball well. All right? First inning, it's going to be a rollover. Orioles are out of the inning, okay? Now the Orioles are getting the lead. But I want to go back to this. This is the second inning because people were talking about pitch sequences. I heard Jim Palmer and I heard Ben McDonald talk about it. And rightfully so, there was some questions on the sequencings and patterns that Corbin Burnes threw yesterday. To me, what I saw, his cutter, which sets up everything, was flattered. It was not the pitch he was hoping for. Because right here, Will Smith's going to get a cutter right down Broadway, right down the pipe. Okay, he takes it. That's not the problem. It's this cutter right here is going to end up throwing out over the middle part of the plate, and Will Smith's going to smoke it. So I'm seeing this, and I'm going, all right, maybe it's early, not the best located pitch. Now, Corbin, this is probably the best cutter he threw all game, which is later in the second inning. It's a backdoor cutter. It's going to finish here. So usually with a cutter, with how Corbin is to lefties, he can run that inside, right? So the ball just keeps coming across. Well, right now, he's not going to do that. It's going to backdoor. It's going to stay. Tommy Edmonds expecting it to cut in. It doesn't. He chops it over to shortstop. Okay? Gunnar makes a nice play. Got his feet set. We're feeling good, right? Things are moving in the right direction. Now let's go to the third inning because this is where it gets interesting. All right? The Orioles already have one out. There's no one on base. Hernandez is up. Kiki Hernandez is up. Now Teoscar. This is the play that everyone's going into effect here. And it's funny, Zach, we just mentioned that people are not ready to say, oh, Ramon Arias, oh, that was a hard hit ball. Oh, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's a hard hit. So we're going to see this. He's going to throw a slider cutter away that Kiki's going to hit the ball fairly well. I'm not going to sugarcoat that one. Cutter fairly well. Okay, but we're going to rewind that for a second. So I want to get my drawing out of the way. Okay, we're going to freeze it. Ball's by him. So what happened there for Ramon is that he didn't get his glove down further enough to the ground, okay? So what happened really is he's going down and his head kicks up just a hair and his glove doesn't get down there. And for people saying, well, Ryan, that was smoked. Again, it was hit pretty well. It's hit 89 miles an hour. So you tell me, is that a ball? If you ask Ramon Arias, does he make that play? Majority of the time? Absolutely. And the biggest thing is, now you got to run on first base with 1 out. And for those that are saying, oh, you got to get the other guys out, absolutely. It is ludicrous to me to think having no one on and 2 outs is the same thing of having a runner on first with 1 out with a pitcher that doesn't hold runners well. So we're going to keep that in mind. Next one that's coming up now is Shohei Otani. And this dude, truly, I don't know if people can really hate on Shohei. Sorry, we're rolling through it. The dude is unbelievable. Truly, truly unbelievable. Come on now. Here we go. So they're like, we don't know how to get him out. We just hung a slider on the last pitch. Hey, McCann and Burnes are going, well, you know what? Let's try to get a changeup here because maybe we'll stay away. Maybe he'll overswing it and roll it over. No, he's seeing this thing too damn well. Hanging changeup away, rocket to right. You know what? Tip your cap. He's one of the best players in the world. He's going to win the MVP again in the National League. And this is what I'm talking about, the effectiveness of Corbin Burnes' cutter then. Mookie Betts, he's back. He's one of the best. This is actually a really well-located pitch for Corbin, but why I don't think his cutter was working is because Mookie sees it really well. This ball's going to cut, and it's going to end up over here, out of the strike zone. Out of the strike zone. And watch Mookie. That ball is off the plate. Yeah, it might be a few inches off the plate, but when you have a really good hitter, that's a really good piece of hitting, and he's driving the ball the other way. Complete player, complete hitter. Hernandez scores, all right? So that's the thing. Now, still 1 out, first and second. Gavin Lux is up, starts him off with a breaking ball, and I think what you're seeing, and I'll explain this in a little bit, is that Corbin Burnes threw his curveball so much because he wasn't having that fastball control. That's nasty, right? So right here, the inning should be over. That's 2 outs. If we do the math, Ramon Arias didn't make the play. He makes the play, inning's over. And quite frankly then, if the inning's over and people are wondering about, well, Ryan, why aren't the earned runs? If Ramon makes the play, a single doesn't score Mookie Betts or doesn't score Hernandez from second. So that error allowed Hernandez to score from second. Now Teoscar, this was the at-bat that everyone was talking about. What in your mind, Zach, let me ask you, what was happening?
Too many off-speed pitches.
Okay, so let's go to this real quickly. He did throw a lot of off-speed pitches. You guys remember that first at-bat I showed you with Teoscar Hernandez? I hope so. What do you think is going to happen on this first pitch? Curveball. And that's a nasty one, by the way. That is perfectly located. And you're going, hey, if you do that, that's great. But you're thinking, well, Ryan, keep going back to it. Or, hey, mix it up. Corbin tried to mix it up. He tried to keep him off balance, but when I said that he didn't have his cutter or his fastball command, I meant it. McCann's going to come in here, right? They're trying to throw a fastball in. They're saying, hey, Hernandez thinking something soft now. Let's try to bust him in. But for Corbin, he's not comfortable. He's going to yank this ball across and almost spike it. And it's just going to be a fastball that he has no control over. And McCann's going to have to reach across and be like, damn. Luckily, that didn't go too far. That could have been a disaster. So what we're learning, come on. There we go. What we're learning from this, and let the game dictate to you. I think that Corbin wanted to mix it up, but he's saying, man, I can't land my other pitches right now with confidence. They're seeing my cutter too well, but they're not seeing my curveball too well. This was the pitch for me that was a sign that he should have mixed it up. This breaking ball is high. It's going to be in. Teoscar still didn't see it well. But he saw it better this time because it hung up and it's inside. He got away with a mistake. So he's afraid to go with that cutter. He's afraid to go with that heater. He goes slider, slurve, cutter, whatever you want to call it. It's going to end up out here. Not a bad pitch. But again, the off speed, it's actually a really good pitch. The off speed is keeping him a little bit on time with the breaking ball. And then sure enough, the breaking ball happens here. He's going to hang it again, and he ain't going to miss it. See ya. It's the same one it was earlier in the count, and that's the problem here. So we can talk about sequencing, but clearly for Corbin Burnes, He wasn't having his fastball control. But really, we're looking at one pitch that they executed on. One pitch changes the entire complexion of this outing for Corbin Burnes. Now let's go later in the game. You don't believe me on the cutter? Well, yeah, when Shohei Otani's the example, it's a terrible one because he's literally like I don't even know if Aaron Judge is godlike right now. What is Otani? I don't know at the plate, but I know that these guys are spectacular and they're special. So he's going to try to throw a cutter in here. Like, we don't know how to beat you. And Otani hits an absolute piss missile. Thank you, David Hall. And Hearn knocks it down. They get the out. And then this is where the problems sit in. Obviously, I wanted to show this angle. Guys, we know, I am saying this right now. What does Corbin Burnes not do well?
Hold runners.
Doesn't hold runners on well. And earlier when he was feeling good, he didn't care. He could get out of any situation. So you're watching Corbin right here, and it's no secret. He's going all the way. All the way. Gone. I mean, he's got a good jump. No chance for McCann from the start. And it's a spiked curveball. Way out of the zone. This isn't McCann's fault. None of it is McCann's fault on this. The only thing that got away from it is Otani takes third base because McCann tries to fumble it, but I don't blame McCann for that. That's on Burnes. But once again, Mookie Betts flies out. Otani is still on third base. Okay? There's 2 outs in the inning. Gavin Lux is up and is going to hit a curveball because that was Corbin's best pitch on the night. Even though you might say it was terrible, it's his best pitch on the night. He's going to throw another curveball. It's going to be a good location, and Gunnar is going to misplay it. And we'll rewind it. The shift got Gunnar sped up. So right there, when I'm looking at with Gunnar, he's trying to be a little bit too quick. He's like, you know what? Do I get in front of the ball? Because you can see him trying to go for the backhand. So he's trying to do a backhand on the run. Maybe misjudges the speed. Maybe the ball's moving around. But instead of having more conviction with what he wanted to do, tried to go at it a little bit too aggressive. And therefore, the footwork's out of place, and he's going to misplay the ball. I think he could have gotten in front of that, squared up, and made a good throw. But that's that. And I think the point that it grinds my gears, if you're going to get on Corbin Burnes for the rest of August, by all means, you talk about it. That Red Sox game, yeah, he got lit the hell up. You got another phrase that Rocco loves. But if you're going to get on Corbin Burnes for saying this outing, this is the one you're going to point to, it drives me insane. The box score is 5 innings. If I told you before, Rocco, Brad, you looked at this and went, Corbin went 5 innings, walked 0 batters, you would feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's perfect. His stuff wasn't the sharpest. You just saw me explain it. But to take away of saying, oh, a true ace is going to take care of those errors, that is a bunch of bull. A bunch of bull. When your pitchers aren't playing their best, your defense has to step up. It's with everybody. And when did it become appropriate to say, hey, we make 3 errors in a game, that should be discounted? Teams don't win baseball games having 3 errors, and they certainly aren't going to beat the best team in baseball with 3 errors. You give a great team opportunities, they're going to win the game. And it floors me, Brad. Literally floors me on this. I get what everyone's saying. But Corbin Burnes is a guy I do believe will figure it out. It's a rough month of August. Well, guess what? He's going to sack up, and he's either going to turn it on or we're going to see the same things. But if he throws like this and the defense makes some plays, Baltimore wins this game. Plain and simple, they win the series. So that's my rant here. Is that okay? Am I good now, Brad?
Yeah.
It absolutely kills me. If you like that, if you like the videos, hit that like and subscribe button. Holy shirts and pants. I don't mean to get mad. I don't mean to get flustered. I just am really passionate about it, and I see Corbin can be sharper, but the Birds as a whole have to be better. And keep in mind, dude, these Dodgers are pretty damn good. That's all I got, Brad.